Welcome back to What You Can Cook For. It's freaking cold out here. So I'm headed to the market right now, and with the changing of the seasons as we transition into the winter, this is typically the time when people tend to get the most sick. And when people get sick, what do they usually do? They take some form of medication. But I am here to show you how I've managed to avoid taking medication for the last 10 years. So as a child, anytime I was sick, there was always a pill associated with that sickness. Whether it was a headache, a cold, there was some sort of drink. If I had heartburn, there was a pill, allergy medication. Whatever it was, there was always a pill associated with it that's supposed to make me feel better. And while when I would take things like this, I would have some temporary relief, what I didn't realize was there was actually a much better way to heal myself. It was using stuff like this. So when I moved to New York City with my band and I was extremely broke, I couldn't afford these things anymore. So I started doing research on other ways to heal myself. And what I discovered blew my freaking mind. So this video is gonna be all about showing you guys how to save money by not wasting money on this stuff and using real food to heal yourself. I'm not a doctor, so I'm in no way telling you what to do or what not to do. I just wanna open up and expand your mind a little bit so you can see that food is actually preventative medicine. If you're eating the right things, if you're taking care of your body, you're spending maybe a little bit extra to make sure you're eating good food, you're gonna feel better and you will stop needing these things. So you might think this video is a little bit crazy, a little bit nuts. I'm not a doctor. Who the hell do I think I am? This guy is crazy. What is wrong with him? I need these medications for this, and this. And I get that. I'm not here to pretend like I'm an expert on any of this, but what I do know is how to be healthy. And I've healed myself putting food into my body that makes me feel good, meditating, taking care of myself. So in this video, I'm gonna be showing you guys a bunch of recipes kind of throughout the day, things you can eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert that are not only gonna taste freaking amazing, but also be really good for you. And that is a huge balance here. I'm not someone that believes like food that's healthy should be kind of weird and gross and like cringeworthy salads and stuff. I honestly think that when you eat healthy food that tastes good, your life just gets so much better. Quick little trick if you have any issues with digestion. My wife always tells me to do this. In the morning, a little lemon juice with some hot water. Drink that first thing in the morning and you will be going right into the bathroom. Now when it comes to breakfast, I like to do two things. I either have something sweet or something savory. So for breakfast, one of my favorite things to do is basically like an avocado toast. And I know this avocado toast has become big. It's basically just an open-faced sandwich. Then you got your bread, eggs, this is like a fermented veggie relish from Macaulay's farm. One tomato, just a little tomato I grew from my garden, avocado, and some sprouts will make an amazing breakfast sandwich. We'll fry these up. So the first thing I'm gonna do is slice my bread, just give that a little slice. I'm gonna throw this toast in the oven and get that toasted. And then just fry some eggs. So what's cool about this breakfast is it takes minutes to make. It's super simple, but it's also like very rewarding and filling. Then I fried up an egg with just a little bit of salt and pepper. Cut up my avocado, and at this point you're just building kind of whatever you want. So I took the bread, put on some slices of avocado, hit that egg on top. You can slip on some sprouts. You can have either some sauerkraut or some like fermented vegetable. And then maybe you want to have a little fresh tomato. I had some from my garden. And this is just like a really great, hearty, delicious breakfast that's gonna fill you up, but also make you feel like just really good, give you a lot of energy. The key thing to me for breakfast is not having this gigantic breakfast, but having something that's satisfying, that's gonna kind of fling me off into the day. So listen, I know that in the short term, it seems smarter to just say like, hey, I'm just gonna get fast food, it's cheaper and all that stuff, and I get it. But in the long term, you know, when you eat well and you take care of yourself, just investing a little bit more money into your food, you're gonna feel better, you're gonna have more energy, you're gonna perform better, your medical bills are gonna go down. So don't be discouraged if you're someone that's a little bit worried that it's gonna cost a little bit more in the upfront. It's gonna pay off in a big way in your life. Another option, if you don't want the savory thing, is something sweet. You've probably had a smoothie before, but there's this thing called acai. It's a berry from Brazil. It's kind of blowing up around the world. You can get these acai bowls. So you get the acai frozen. I have a bunch of ingredients here that I'm gonna be using. You can use whatever you want. What I basically do is take that acai, it's just like a frozen puree. You can find them in the freezer section at markets. Acai goes in. I have some ice in the blender already. Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom. 3/4 of a banana. A little bit of almond milk. Just a little splash. Some cinnamon. And some honey. You can add maple, no sugar, you don't even need sugar. It's all just like going with the flow right there. And now we blend. What can you do if you don't have something to pound it with? And if you don't have anything to pound it with, like this big Mr. whatever you want to call him here, It's like almost like a sex toy. You just have to sacrifice the consistency a little bit. You'd have to add a little bit more water. It'll still be really good. And you could also, like, every once in a while with a spatula kind of mix it around. But this actually allows you to smash it down and get it super creamy and thick without having to add too much water. Right. At that point, you just take out your stuff, put it in a bowl, and then you can top it with whatever you want. I was using some chia, cacao nibs, which are amazing. That's where chocolate comes from, but it's raw and it's super good for you. You can cashews, some different fruits on top of there. Just fill it up with whatever you want, and it's like such a satisfying breakfast that's just gonna give you that like delicious sweet boost in the morning and make you feel pretty good.
What the hell?
That's
you
so
drinking this stuff? What is this? It's like, looks like vampire blood for Halloween. You putting it in your body?
If I'd have to guess, one of the #1 things I get asked all the time about health and medication is getting sick. Now, I still get sick, but I get sick about once a year, and because my body is healthier, it's able to fight off diseases and viruses much faster. So in the past, I feel like even when I was taking medication, it would just kind of linger. You know that feeling when it's like lingering, like you're getting sick, then you're sick, and then a couple days of like not feeling great? Now, I get sick, I usually like fast or just like eat very little, I rest, I relax, drink some water, and typically the next day I'm like feeling fantastic. And it's just because my body is healthier. So again, it's not about not taking medication, but learning the more you make your body healthy, the more it just naturally runs the way it needs to and doesn't need outside things, because your body is designed to fight off disease and sickness when it's taken care of and when it feels good. For lunch, of course, salads are the obvious thing if you want to eat well, and I love making salads with all kinds of stuff in like the kitchen sink salad. What I thought would be fun is to take two of my favorite things, banh mi and summer rolls, and kind of smash them into one. So here's some of the ingredients I'll be using. You know, I've got some tofu. I made this pickled daikon carrot mixture, and that's like the heart of the banh mi. Now, a lot of people are scared of tofu. They're like, what is it? It's this weird thing that's all jiggly, but it's very simple. All you do is cook it up. You can eat it raw. I actually love raw tofu. Some people say it has no flavor, but I completely think that's bullshit. I think tofu by itself is delicious. It's soybean. It's basically like the cheese of soybeans. That's exactly what it is. You're making curds. And when you think about it that way, it makes a lot more sense. So I like to cube it up, actually. Okay, got a little non-stick pan with a little bit of oil. Boom, boom, boom. You can just toss your tofu in. And just let it sit and kind of cook it on multiple sides until it gets crispy. A little salt. The tofu's cooking up. This is vermicelli. It's basically bean thread noodles. It's not made from rice. It's made from the starch of like mung beans, usually. Sometimes it has potato starch in it. Just pour hot water on it, and then just kind of move it around, and you're just gonna let it sit in the hot water until it's just kind of rehydrates and it's good to go. You don't even have to really cook this stuff. Just give that a little toss. Start to see like the cubes start to get crispy. Cashew mayo is actually incredible. I'm starting to like it more than mayo. I have about a half a cup of soaked cashews. I soak them in some hot water just for a couple hours until they're soft. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna add some tofu. That's optional, but just kind of, you can use like silken tofu or whatever tofu you got. A little bit of jalapeno for a little zippity zippity. Some lime juice goes in there. A little rice wine vinegar. Some salt. And the more, like there's this cashew water, if you want to add a little bit you can, but the more you add, the thinner it gets. So just keep that in mind. And then we just blend it up. Alright, so what I like to do is sort of blend it up first a little bit and then add a little water as I go, or like I can add a little rice wine vinegar. Just because you don't want it to get too liquidy, otherwise you won't get that texture you're after. Wow. Crispy tofu. I could have gone longer, but I'm just kind of getting hungry, but this is really nice. I love this stuff. So I've been rolling these things long enough to know that most people screw them up. They soak them in water for too long. They get extremely like soggy and they're very hard to roll. All you want to do is just quickly hit them. Just a little bit of water. Basically just like put them under water for 2 seconds, or even just take a little bowl and kind of like go like that. And what's happening now is this is starting to rehydrate. So as it's rehydrating, you want to start making your fillings. So I do a little bit of vermicelli. Boom, goes down. A little bit of tofu. You don't want to overfill these things. You're wrapping and rolling. A little bit of cuke. Thin slices, very important. I'm gonna do some jalapeno in there. Just a couple hidden bombs for your mouth. A little bit of this pickled daikon. This is what makes, to me, the banh mi. A little cilantro. And of course,
Look at this mayo. Look how this comes out. This isn't real mayo, but look at that. Would you just look at it? Key here is to go over, pull in the sides, go over both sides, and just tuck this in tight. You want it to be tight. You don't want to rip it. So just pull it like firmly, but not super, super strong. And look at that. Boom. Cut if you'd like, or you can just eat them, walk around with them if you want. Just want to show you what's going on in there. If you want something light and fresh that's gonna make you feel fantastic, but also like make you feel satisfied, that's so important. It's not just about making stuff that's healthy and like boring, but just like rah. Oh god. So sleeper. You don't expect that much flavor, but who doesn't love a summer roll, right? But adding like the banh mi element, come on. Nuts, people. So if you struggle with allergies, I used to take a ton of allergy shots, Claritin, nothing ever seemed to work. Then I started getting into the more like holistic approach. Apple cider vinegar is amazing. You drink just like a tablespoon of this in some water. Make sure you dilute it with water, about 8 to 16 ounces. Drink that in the morning, it will really help. Honey, if you get local honey, that's also a great little tip, because the pollen that you're gonna be ingesting basically in the air, if you take the honey, it kind of helps build an immunity to it. But this is the best thing, the neti pot. If you haven't had one of these before, it's this little thing you fill with some warm water. You can put some infused rinsing salt, and then it's kind of weird. You basically go right up your nose and it squirts out the other side. It does sting a little bit, but it clears your sinuses out, and this has been a lifesaver. There's also one that shoots right up your nose that doesn't feel as painful. Give it a try. It's really gonna help, and then you won't be in allergy hell. So the truth is, to develop a healthy lifestyle, it doesn't just happen overnight. There's no magical pill or diet that's gonna make you feel better. To really change your life through food, it takes a long time of adjusting and being aware and being conscious of what you put into your body. But I used to be a person who got the worst headaches. I would get horrible migraines and I couldn't think straight in school. I used to get heartburn so bad that I could barely move. And I used to have these stomach aches and, forgive me, be on the toilet with diarrhea for hours at a time because I didn't realize the food I was putting in my body was making me so sick. But when you put in the right foods into your body, the food is preventative medicine, so it's actually helping you to heal. And it doesn't happen overnight, it takes a long time. And while this video could be me explaining all the situations and all the stories and things that happened to me to go from where I was to where I am now, I want to save the more detailed stuff for my podcast. So if you're interested in really learning about how I heal myself through food, click the link below, check out my podcast. It's all about living a good life through food and music, and go into more details. But I really wanted this video to be about what most people love, which seeing is the recipes. So these are recipes that I absolutely adore and think are delicious and that just have helped me elevate and heal my body. Back at it. For dinner, we're doing a Buddha bowl, and I know that like this Buddha bowl thing is super trendy, so we don't have to call it a Buddha bowl. It's just a delicious bowl of whatever the heck you want. And the Buddha bowl, the name kind of upsets me because I feel like they just wanted to be trendy and just threw Buddha's name in there, so it sounded healthy. But as someone who studied and practiced Buddhism for many years, I do get what they're going for. His general concept of being the Buddha had to do with balance and flow in life, and I think this dish is very balanced. It's gonna make you feel really full. All the ingredients are very simple, very, very good for you, and extremely delicious, which is equally as important. Quinoa, little seed. You could also use rice, any kind of like base that you want. I'm gonna use quinoa though, I love it. Mushrooms I sauteed, some raw cabbage from the garden, cauliflower that I just roasted. Basically just put some oil on there, cut it up, put some oil on there, roast it in the oven at like 425, and cauliflower is amazing. Same with sweet potatoes, I peeled them, cut them up, salt, oil, roast them in the oven. Another great thing. Got a little miso paste, an egg, optional of course, ginger, sprouts, and some herbs. It's up to you guys. You can use whatever you want. The whole point of a Buddha bowl is to kind of pick and choose things that you like and just make this bowl of epicness. All right, so I'm just gonna add in some quinoa to some water. And you don't have to worry about the ratios because all you're gonna be doing is bringing this up to a boil, letting it simmer for a little bit, and then just straining it out, and it'll be done. So quinoa just brought it to a boil, so now I'm just gonna simmer it. Then I wanted to make like sort of a miso ginger carrot dressing, kind of like the one you get at Japanese restaurants a lot. And so kind of just add whatever you want. I mean, I'm gonna do some ginger, a little carrot left over from the banh mi picklage. My miso, of course. I'm gonna add maybe half of it to start. It's a lot of miso. Green onion if you'd like, maybe even a little cilantro. Just flow with it, feel the flow, be one with it. Cucumber, rice vinegar goes in, and just add a little honey, whatever sugar you got, but honey's really nice for this. Buddha bowl situation, whatever you want to call it, just a delicious bowl. For Lord's sakes, it's a delicious bowl. So quinoa goes to the bottom. Give it a nice base of the quinoa. And then at this point, you just kind of add whatever you want. Like, you just have fun. Don't stress. Just things that are good. What I like to do is make a lot of this stuff in bulk, you know? Sweet potato. The Buddha bowl, or whatever you want to call it. Again, Buddha's all like kind of marketing, but mix some of that sauce around, get the quinoa. This is one of those dishes that the first bite is going to be good, but you might not be blown away, but as you eat it, all the flavors blend together. You can add some like hot sauce on there, it just gets better and better and better. A little egg, a little mushroom. What? Whoa, whoa, look at this. You want to be in the video? Look at this. Side note, if you have a dog that has, gets anxiety, gets a little anxious, this thunder shirt, no, that's not for you. This thunder shirt chills the dogs out. It kind of gives them like a warm hug. It makes them feel more relaxed. For the dessert, I thought I would reach out to my brother because he loves making really healthy, delicious desserts. For someone who loves sweets and likes to eat well and feel good, I figured he'd do a better job than I would. So let's check this out.
So one thing that I definitely struggle with, especially when I'm hungry, is snack cravings. I'm sure a lot of you understand sugar cravings, salty cravings. When you're out on the go and you don't have anything to eat, a lot of times you'll turn to some pretty unhealthy stuff. And generally those things are gonna make you feel pretty shitty. I mean, we've all been in that situation when you want that bag of chips. It's like all you can think about, and you eat it and it takes you down. So I'm gonna show you a really quick and easy granola bar recipe that takes advantage of pantry items that you have probably lying around, so you can have a snack that you can take on the go and help you with those cravings. So like I said, use whatever you have lying around. I'm gonna throw in some almonds, some cashews, some whole coconut flakes, add some oats, sprinkle in some sesame seeds. I really like the added flavor of them. And then you can do some dried fruit. I had some dried apricots and some raisins. So to create the mixture that's gonna hold all these together, I'm gonna add some melted coconut oil, a little bit of honey, some brown rice syrup, a little bit of rice flour, which is just gonna help with the binding, and then some salt, and then just mix that all together and really get that well incorporated. Then take a sheet pan with a piece of parchment paper on there and just flatten that out. You can put some oil on your hands so your hands don't stick to the actual granola. Now put that in a preheated 275-degree oven and cook that for just about an hour. Nice and low and slow, and it's gonna come out and just be nicely toasted. All of those flavors are really gonna amplify, and you can just chop those up into little granola bars, package those up, eat them right there, do whatever you want with them. There you go, there's your on-the-go snack. Back to the video, Josh.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you are someone that struggles with your health and you feel like you're taking so much medication, spending a lot of money on that, again, I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm not here to give you medical advice. Seek your doctor when it comes to medication, but I'm just giving you my experience. So if you want to learn how to use food in a way to make yourself feel better, and not even focus on like, specific calorie counting and all this stuff, just eating really good food and taking care of yourself is going to make a huge difference. You're going to save a ton of money in the long run. More videos to come. Peace out, like, subscribe. Goodbye. It's easy.